So I should probably start at the beginning. Maybe not that far. Let's skip a few years. There we go. That's me, little Liliana. As you can see, I'm not super feminine, and I've never tried hiding my masculine personality, mostly because I just kind of sucked at it, as you can see. It's also the reason why my family wasn't really surprised when I told them I liked other women, and they even made sure that I knew that I was loved and accepted, even by God, who I must say I am very close with. See, I was born and raised Catholic, and I have a pretty strong faith because of it. Even when I went off to college, I still kept praying. I went to Mass, I went on retreats, my faith grew, and I made friends, and life was good. Except nobody else outside my family ever knew I was gay, and this is ironic in hindsight, but I had sacrificed being fully myself for friendships that could never be full. That is until 2020. It's December, and if you know, you know, but the year has been full of loneliness, panic, fear, sickness, and even death. But probably the most impactful thing for me was the noise. Lots of noise and anger, and my God, was I angry too. You know, there's this juxtaposition that when there's a lot of noise, there's usually a lot of silence too. When this man's photo came on the news, and people all over the world were protesting and demanding justice for George Floyd, as they should, I went on my social media and all I saw was nothing. People just going on about their days as if there wasn't yet another black man brutally murdered by police on camera, in public, in broad daylight. Why was everyone being so quiet when the world was begging them to be anything but quiet, anything but still? It was a wake-up call I didn't know I needed, and in retaliation I decided to break my own silence. On June 17th, during Pride Month and 23 days after George Floyd's death, I officially came out, which brings me to where I am today. Since coming out, I haven't felt the same way about religion as I used to. I received support from my Catholic friends in my post, but really nothing outside of that, minus a handful of people. I have also dug deeper into what the church teaches when it comes to the LGBT+ community, and, well, let's just say that only separated me further. Each day I feel like I'm slipping more and more away from being Catholic. Each time I walk into a church, it doesn't feel the same. Each time I get closer to that altar, I can't feel that deep connection that I used to have. But at the same time, that doesn't mean I don't pray when I visit. And I know I should feel sad. In some ways I do. But I honestly don't feel that bad about it. I think what I liked about being Catholic was that I always knew I had a community. But I'm thinking now that if that community only exists where a cross is hung, or only includes those who wear a cross themselves, then it's hard to call it a community at all. Coming out is never easy, and I realize now that coming out means much more than just letting go of secrets. It's committing yourself to belonging to something far bigger than who you are or ever will be. It means sacrifice, it means fighting, it means believing, and it means believing what you fight for. And in a way, that's exactly what being a Christian is all about. Coming out can also be very rewarding, but only once you've accepted all the fallbacks and the struggles. And now I don't just have a community, I have a family. And even more, I have a family worth fighting for, a family that needs fighting for, especially now. And I'm trying to do all the things to fight. Sometimes fighting means educating myself. It's supporting and enjoying queer art, lots of it. It's finally putting up my pride flag in my room and not being scared to leave the door open. Other times it's simply taking care of myself. And I'm not gonna lie, still being in the COVID-19 pandemic, it is hard to fight sometimes. Some days you win, some days you lose. And there are even days you are just aching to be done with. And that's okay. You learn to take whatever win you can get. Even if it's a very, very, very small win, like getting out of bed. Or getting out of bed just to play video games in which you may or may not win, but still a win because you got out of bed, right? And even though I don't really go to church anymore, I'm still spiritual. I still have faith, mostly because you literally can't fight without faith. It's just that practicing my faith is different now. And I've come to this realization that it doesn't really matter how you show your faith or how much you show it, but where you place it. And if you want to know where I place my faith, well, I place it in today. I place it in tomorrow. I place it in right now. And most of all, I place it in myself.